Welcome to Hort Culture, where a group of extension professionals and plant people talk about the business, production, and joy of planting seeds and helping them grow. Join us as we explore the culture of horticulture.
Look what I found.
Greetings. Alexis,
Greetings.
what do you, so for
What
our...
am I showing on an audio format?
Well, we have video, so if you want to see what it is,
you can
go
see this
to YouTube.
If you're watching through Apple Podcast, it has a video component built in. You may not be aware of that. You need to check it out because Alexis has pictures.
Some Spotify podcasts have it too. I don't know if that's...
Yeah, I don't understand why some do and some don't. But Alexis has pretty...
So narrate for us regardless.
Yeah. Okay. So I have, from my first few years of business, when I started like more or less growing for myself and like taking, like going from hobby to real life, like I'm gonna farm thing. I have my first 3 years of vision boards that I created, which was mostly just an excuse to glue things in colorful fashion. So I have 18, 19, and 20. And now I kind of do it just like, not.
And would that be hung up somewhere during the year of 2018?
Yeah, so it was hung up by my desk. And one of the reasons I like to make it pretty and colorful, because I would hang it up where I would see it every day when I was on my computer doing things.
It kind of has like a layered mural decoupage kind of energy to it for those who are not watching at home. Yeah. And it also has some phrases on them.
Yeah, I have phrases. So
give me the phrases. What are the phrases?
I have high standards as one. Ooh. Classic.
That one
Cooler than cool.
Feels threatening.
Is another one. Yeah. Quality, value, and service. It's another one. A little less worry is on the same one.
Good one.
And then the past, present, and future. That was my very first one. Had that on there. Ooh, I also had, this is when this word was really big. Slay this way.
Slay this way.
Is that 2019?
Ho, ho, ho.
No, this was 2018.
Okay, I felt it was in the teens. Yeah, okay.
What an adventure, right? You're starting your adventure. Plants are an investment. Choose wisely.
So as you were forming these, do you remember why you started doing them in the first place? Are you a lifelong vision boarder?
No, I mean, other than just like as a, teenage girl making collages that were, I guess, sort of vision boards in my bedroom with my best friend growing up. No, I took a class, a series on flower farming and just kind of getting started in that realm. And one of the things that they suggested as homework was to create a vision board physically, digitally, however you wanted to do it, just to, have and be able to refer back to when, times were tough or you feel like you lost your way and that kind of start of a new business. And so I did them for 3 years. And again, a lot of it was just, it was fun, something colorful, something upbeat. And then some of those, slay this way obviously was very inspiring to me in 2018. So yeah, it was something fun. I think I do a version of it now, just kind of some different ways these days. But I think it was really helpful in the beginning. And I had flower pictures, but also had vegetables and other things that just kind of inspired my design thoughts and where my brain was from a design perspective at the time. So
yeah, I think you see these in some creative area, different creative areas where either like you might have a vision board for an event or for a particular thing that you're trying to do, and rather than trying to explain it to someone else, you can show them, or you can collect it. And Pinterest sort of capitalized on this in the social media sphere. I never really did quite wrap my mind around Pinterest. Like I understood it intellectually, but I never really connected with it or understood. Like I would have liked to. I think I wanted something a little more analog vision board vibe for some of the things that I
hands-on, a little bit more hands-on.
It blends them together, and it's a little less linear and a little more, I don't know. Again, real Pinterest heads out there will say that you're a moron. Maybe you should have done a better job. And I would say that's fine. I got nothing. I got no pushback on that. But it was, we were thinking, or when we were trying to kick around ideas for an episode, do something a little bit lighthearted this time of year, but also thinking about the year ahead. And shout out to Annie, my wife, who suggested this as an idea of, I was curious, my fellow horticulturists, what is on your vision board for 2026, horticulturally speaking, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And so to give a little bit more, I put this forward, this idea, and then everyone's like, what? What are the parameters? How are we going to do this? And I was like, well, here's a really unclear explanation. So once we get through that, I then an image, a graphic, a illustration, a symbol, could be words, could be just a phrase, could be that represents something that you're aspiring to in 2026. And it could be a continuation of past success, could be a new thing, something you've been trying to do better each year and you want to do better this year. Again, all in that sphere of the horticultural experience. And so I will be happy to go first. So my first item on my vision board is a big old pile of mulch. It's steaming, warm, ready. Because this year we are hoping, we installed a bunch of stuff over the last 10 years, intensively in certain places over the last 2 or 3 years. We put in some mulch at the time. It's worked out great. It's starting to become one again with the soil. And, weeds were okay last year, but if we let it go another year, it's going to be a problem. And so we are hoping to, rather than spending much time installing stuff and putting stuff in and establishing beds, which we've already done, we're hoping to instead spend some time really spreading that mulch.
You are past the design and installation phase. You're into the MIDIMA method, DIM, design installation. You're in the maintenance phase.
We're in maintenance phase, baby. And the thing about mulching is, I know we have a whole episode about mulch, and I think my passion, along with everyone else's passion, is well documented in this area. But the thing that's great about mulching is it's like a triple thread, at least quadruple thread. I don't know how many threads. I'm just going to start adding up all the things that are amazing about it. One, it's a nice, manageable task. It doesn't suck as much as some. It's not as easy as others. Gets you a little bit of exercise, gets you a little bit of movement. That's great. It is generally good for the soil health. You're protecting your plant health. You're protecting root moisture. You're protecting, fluctuations in soil temperature at the surface, all those things. It looks really good when you do it. Like once you finish mulching and you're like, man, you put in a planting job or whatever, and you're like, it looks pretty good. And then you mulch it and you're like, oh my gosh, the colors have never popped like this before on that dark brown, black mulch. The oranges are oranger, the bluers are blue, even the greens are greener. And so I think in all of and I actually happen to like the smell of mulch. I know some people don't. So that's a secret quadruple threat for me personally. But it's just one of those things that's like, when you're done, you also just feel so accomplished because you can see what happened. Sometimes even when you weed a row, you're like, it looks better, but it doesn't look like,
it's not transformative.
Wow.
Like yeah.
All you can see is that the good version of the thing now. You can't see the progress. So maybe the shout out a tip, take a before and after of things that you're weeding so that you can feel better about it.
So you've done good.
So anyway, that's my first entry on the vision board, is a big old pile of mulch.
Maintenance.
You got it.
Mine, as I've been, when I was searching through these, the thing that keeps consistently, I keep saving these photos. Part of it is because we are in the process of trying desperately to finish our upstairs. So we have an old farmhouse, and there's been episodes where you may have heard pounding in the background because we've got some work going on upstairs to create a second bathroom and a third bedroom in our house. And so it's complete blank slate. I mean, there's no floor, there's no walls. The walls are my roof at this time. So starting from complete scratch and having to come up with some of these ideas, and I keep coming back to these photos that all have a certain theme, and it is that they all have a lot of lush greens, some natural wood elements, whether it's bedroom, bathroom, closet, like they all have this same idea behind it. And they all, this very natural, very like soft look. And I wouldn't quite call it cottage core, not quite there, but same general.
Approaching.
Yeah, it's like moody cottage core, right? Dark
Gothic
greens
cottage
instead of
core.
sage green, right?
Cottage
And so,
hardcore.
but
Ooh, yeah,
saying,
there you go, Brad.
saying that,
Cottage
it comes back to something
hardcore.
that one of my best friends and I have been saying, is that we don't like to like leave a lot. Like vacation is great, but we were talking about how this year staycation sounds actually really nice, and I love to travel. Like throw me on a plane, I don't care, wherever. But like staycation sounds so nice this year because it's like I want to do these things that are like chores that kind of suck. I want to like paint, my door and, do all these things around the house. And a lot of what I end up doing around the house has to do with like my flower beds or planting a tree, the American beech that I want to, plant, and
Going to.
these things that are not farming, but they are all about, and we said it, creating this space that we don't want to leave, and like in the best way of like a staycation sounds nice because I'm creating this environment, this atmosphere that is just so cozy and a place that I generally enjoy being with the people that I love, that I don't feel the need to necessarily go out. So I think that's really on my vision board as I kind of look through some of these photos. And some of that is, creating a new space upstairs. But I think a lot of it has to do with like incorporating plants and something that's more my personality into this place that I spend most of my time.
What does that mean? What is the incorporating the plants into the space? Like what are some ideas that you have for what that'll look like?
Yeah, just so one of the like big things about upstairs that I have very few it has to be this way or else. I have very few threats to my contractor, but one of them is the natural light that we'll have in there. It's very dark upstairs. It's literally my roof. There are very tiny windows and old brick. So like we need skylights. We need a lot of this natural light because number one, I am basically a plant. I need light to photosynthesize, but I want light for my plants. And so in my brain, I have this, there'll be this one really tall wall because we have very high pitch peak ceilings. And so there'll be this one wall and I want it to be sort of like a collage, but instead of overlapping like my vision board did of photos, there'll be these pieced out kind of floor to ceiling, different things. And some of the things will be plants that hang on the wall that vine. And I just take their vines and, trellis them kind of around picture frames and around, different elements that I might hang. And so just this idea of this natural, living, soft is so important to like making my comfort. Like for me to be comfortable in a space, I need like this living.
Well, and it's a space you're creating it. So, I mean, from scratch almost. I mean, the space exists, but
Yeah.
you're making it. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, but same like when you move into a house, right? We always talk about we're plant people. A place does not feel is just not I don't feel as my safest if there's not a plant in the vicinity. Like I can either see it or touch it or sit near it or something. It's just not as a place that I feel as safe in. I think.
Except for dragon fruit, maybe keep it in the greenhouse.
But like I can visibly see it and be like, this is a place that it thrives, so maybe therefore I can thrive.
Plenty of sunlight, some warmth, all the good things.
Maybe I'm more like the dragon fruit than I expect. I'm a little prickly. I don't like to be moved around a bunch.
You like your solitude.
But popular somehow nonetheless.
Yes. known worldwide, just like you.
I feel
So
like
there
that
you
was
go.
like really deep. I don't know if I really meant it to be that deep, but that's
It's like
that's just like the
that
photo when I
landed
think like
differently.
scroll through my photos on my phone of that are not necessarily ones I take. It's like this basically the same picture keeps popping up, but it's like a kitchen version, a bathroom version,
Mm.
a bedroom version, and but creating my whole home to feel that way. So is
Mhm.
something I'm envisioning for 2026.
Yeah, I like that. I think it's about too the horticulture and the design, they interface and they
Yes.
intermingle, which is or the plants and the design, which kind
Yeah.
of is horticulture
Bringing
at
the
its
outside
heart. It's
in.
not
Love
just
it.
plants everywhere all the time, though that
Yeah.
is kind of cool. There is this element of
Hmm.
choice and design
Hmm.
and intention. Love it.
I'm not
Strong start.
not envisioning.
We've got Alexis's very in-depth answer and my big pile of mulch. So we're off to Ray to figure out
To set the
what's
tone.
the first item on your vision board.
Well, it's a small thing. I have a personal thing and a couple of professional things if we get around to going, talking about other things. But the first one is, I guess, bringing the pretty stuff in the garden a little bit closer to home. It's over the hill now, which is a good spot. It's next to kind of a creek, and it's a cool area. It's almost like a secret garden area, and it's where Jennifer, my wife, she kind of has some very nice. We plant some flowers and a pretty good size planting of flower beds and things, and looks really nice. But we just want to bring that closer. We have to go over the hill and kind of to the edge of the woods down a steep embankment to get to that. And we just want to bring that closer. Number one, we get a little bit better sun exposure up where we want to move that to, but we kind of want to completely kind of reconfigure that and rethink that a little bit and utilize maybe more. And I'll have to talk to you guys about this at some point to get some ideals, but maybe utilize containers and raised beds a little bit more for flowers and bring those closer to where when we come out on the back patio, we can immediately enjoy those. Not only that, but it's a good reminder of when to water and just enjoying those in 3 steps instead of 50 steps. Just bringing that closer to home and making some changes there. It's closer to a water source. It's closer to us. We just want that to feel more lived in, like a space.
Yeah, I was going to ask if it was like a vision of being able to see it from the back window, you're washing dishes or whatever, and you can see that thing, or if it was more about partially trying to create an outdoor space that is,
Both.
or enhance an outdoor space, I should say.
We'll keep about half the area down there because we can see it from the kitchen window and it looks nice, but it's a steep hill and I have to walk back up the hill. What goes down must come up, kind of thing. So we'll keep some flowers down there, but we're going to transition more to traditional veggies. Some basic things: peppers, tomatoes, things for the home use. But Jennifer has this vision in her head. She's got this wrought iron table that she's got, and she wants a kind of a villa style garden built around that. So it's a mulched area. I've already got the mulch down, the underlayment, and it's a mulched area. And we've got tons of containers we've been gathering. We've already filled up, and we're letting those chill out and get ready for the spring. A
So
bunch of those big
this
containers.
thing will be kind of like an outdoor plant stand, basically. Like it'll function like,
Yeah.
or the table will be still used.
The table will be used and the plants all the way around it. If you can imagine like a little cafe style table in Italy, like a little with plants all the way around, stacked in layers. And I don't know, we've got 25 or 30 large pots.
You're
And then
creating a
some
vignette.
stacking it. Yeah,
So
basically.
Like
we
when you
would be able to
like
sit
putting
at the table or
We'll be
no?
able to sit at the table and eat, breakfast or whatever. Whether it'll ever
Wow.
be used at that, we'll see.
What a vibe.
Jennifer has a vision for that. And we just had a new patio replaced on the back, and we were waiting to do any significant projects like this until we got that replaced. It's done now.
Oh man.
So now we're ready to
What's
make
the
that
what's
space.
what's the vibe on the is it like a poured patio?
No, it's like a 2-story deck with a shade area underneath. It's composite and two-level stack stairs kind of comes down off the second floor.
Okay.
But off to the side of that has very good sunlight with a wooden gate behind it, wooden fence, is this nice big area.
Oh wow.
That is just a kind of a mulch square. Now it's a private little area and it's just perfect for a nook. I mean, I can kind of see it. Jennifer says I'm going to see it whether I see it or not. I'm going to envision this and make this vision real. And I like the idea of space making in this context of bringing the flowers, some of the ones that she enjoys the most, bringing them up closer to the house to where we can come out, because we're not going to walk all the way down generally and eat breakfast. I mean, sometimes we do in the lower garden, but not as often. I feel like we'd utilize it more if we bring it closer. And I talked to master gardener classes and gardener classes about the importance of proximity as far as enjoyment, maintenance, observation, that importance of convenience and proximity in gardening. It's a big concept. So we're sort of playing on that kind of thing, but just to do that area.
Practicing what you preach, huh?
Yeah, I know.
Got some of that like permaculture vibes. The things that need a lot of attention are closer to home.
Yep. And closer to a water source, so I don't have to drag the hoses and stuff. So win-win, and that does open up a spot for some binding crops and stuff down at the lower garden where I can have some space back for my stuff I enjoy. So something in it for me too.
Well, something I did a couple years ago when we were doing some I was doing some re-envisioning of our backyard with the landscaping, is I went out and I kind of took some pictures just of the space, and then I brought those over into like Canva, and I reduced the transparency to make it like almost like a see-through image, and then I kind of constructed some things and brought in clip art and things. And it's amazing how even that goofy little envisioning thing, like we followed what I laid out pretty closely.
Oh, wow.
Like it looks kind of like what I had laid out. And it's funny how that helped, like the idea of the vision board, additional other visualization tools can really help where like, I'm just imagining with the space with the table and the other things, like if you were like, okay, Jennifer, here's what you told me I think you want. And then you pull it together and she's like, what? This is not at all what I was, or she's like, oh wow, this is better than what I thought, or this is different, or it's so funny though. Like we're so social and we talk and we write and we do all these things, but having like a visual can be really helpful for communicating.
I think it makes it real. I mean, once it's real, then you have a target. And once you have a target, you can take aim. It focuses that effort. And I love, one of the things when I was working with a landscape company, is I was always amazed by the architects that would do these drawings and stuff, and just how a space made no sense to me. And then they would put in the hardscape, and then I would look at the plants. And then when it all was overlaid, all the layers, I'm like, that's it. That's the one. Yes. And it's so powerful, a true vision, even beyond like a vision board, but any kind of visual. It doesn't matter if it's pictures or digital art in layers, but it makes it real for me. I'm very visual.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. Well, I'll piggyback on yours for my second vision board item, which is a picture of me, or just another, old guy,
old bald guy,
another old bald guy sitting on the patio, surrounded by plants, looking out and just chilling and enjoying it. And that for me is like an intention to really, especially in those shoulder seasons, before it gets crazy hot and mosquitoes are one with my blood, that to get out and like really spend time just kind of chilling, not feeling like I have to do anything, not on my phone or on my more like for me on my laptop or whatever, just like hanging out in the space, because like
enjoy the fruits.
Yeah, exactly. You're doing all this crazy stuff, and you're gonna have to continue doing stuff, and you're not intentionally taking time to enjoy it. Sometimes I feel like other people end up enjoying the space more than I do, which is great, but I would like to do that myself. So that's on the vision board, very similar to your thing. And we did a couple years ago. We put in a new patio, like a paver patio that was old cracked, just old cracked concrete one, with some covered space and some better seating and all that kind of stuff. And it's crazy how much of a difference it makes. To be able to spend time, like want to spend time out there, and it not be this, it used to be like this brutal, like mini horticultural farm, no shade, just not a fun place to spend time. It was cool to have a bunch of tomatoes to can, but it's like, this is tough. I feel like I need a OSHA representative out here to consult and make sure that I'm
nobody's getting
I'm doing okay.
I feel that.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's kind of the second item on mine, I would say, is
you've accommodated the human aspect in your space.
That was on mine last year.
Love it.
Which was what?
I would say.
Like to kind
The
of enjoy it?
sitting and enjoying. I like put in a flower bed that it's pretty much only if you sit in the side yard can you experience.
Mm.
And so it was like, well, if I'm going to put this in, I got to experience it. And I bought myself a nice chair that I like to sit in. And sometimes I just read, but it's like the idea of being in that space
Oh yeah, totally.
more. And so, yeah, I didn't do quite as much as I wanted to, but I blame a lot of that on just like the heat. Sometimes
Yeah,
I just didn't want to be outside because it's
totally.
uncomfortable. So I was in the shade, I was doing all the things. It was just grody.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so one of the things on my vision board from a farm perspective is a quote, and I feel like I use it in a different perspective in my life all the time, but it's really resonating with like the farm and where we're at and like where the plants are at and just the whole life cycle of it is like the quote of like, and now that you don't have to be perfect, you can be good. It's like that idea of, don't let the enemy of good is perfection and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like I'm in a better place to be able to agree with it and actually follow that line of thinking. And so I like that for just all the plants that I'm dealing with. It's like Mother Nature is going to do her thing. I just got to roll with it. It doesn't have to be perfect to be still be really good. And so yeah, I think I'm in a little bit of a better place to be able to do that.
So did you
For
feel
me.
did you feel before that do you think that you had to be perfect before, or did you just feel that you had to be perfect in the past?
I think there's a lot. Jessica and I talk about this, with her doing farming and also, being a horticulturist by training. There's sort of this pressure of, well, like I'm the one, quote unquote expert in this area. My job is to teach people how to do this the best way, and so therefore I should be doing it the best way.
Mhm.
Only to kind of realize that just because the books say this is the best way, but the books don't take into account like you are a human being who
Mhm.
only survives so much and has so much money and has so much daylight hours and has all these other things that go into quote unquote making something perfect. And so realizing that there's a lot of things that go into that it doesn't have to be perfect, it does have to be good.
Mm. Mhm.
uh, has been helpful.
It's almost like at a point just making a decision. If you're a thinker or an overthinker, it's like getting to a tipping point, like we're just going to do this. Sometimes that's a scary decision, an inflection point or a pivot point is just making
Mhm.
that decision to go forward. I don't know. Are you one of those that likes to research every possible contingency and possibility, and you're considering and thinking and planning short, medium, long-term plans, and all of a sudden you're like,
I'm
okay, I got to do something.
Yeah, I'm kind of a mix of those people because like I'm
Yeah.
going to do the research way before I need the research. So
Yes.
in that way it's
Mm-hmm.
like I am
Yeah.
doing all of it, but then when it's time to pull the trigger, I don't have any problem.
Let
Like,
it ferment,
and
and then
it's
you've
not
got to
always the
go.
best
Yeah.
decision, but it's kind of like, so it's a weird, like, in the moment I can be really fast, but it's because a year ago I did all the deep dive because my brain went
Mm-hmm. Yes.
crazy. So it's like enables me to really be fast in those approaches. So
It's almost like
But if
muscle
your
memory. Yeah.
but if your choice turns out to be the wrong choice, you're gonna beat yourself up about it too.
yeah, especially if it's like something I should know.
Right. Like the difference between someone who is paralyzed, they're not able to make a decision because they
Yeah.
want to avoid all possible mistakes, versus
Paralysis.
someone
Yeah.
who makes the decision and then isn't able to let it go if there was in fact a mistake.
I tell
Yeah.
myself the
Kind of a
mistake is
different.
the accomplishment. I tell myself that's the
The
accomplishment.
decision
Does yourself
making
listen?
period.
No, the myself says, "You idiot." No. But upon reflection, I try to take Alexis's lemons that she has a surplus of. She mentioned in the last episode, and make lemonade or lemon cake or
Yeah.
whatever delicious thing you guys have
What
suggested Alexis
what
make.
was
Yeah.
a funny thing I saw that it was like, uh, lemons are actually a product of human intervention, like that, the lemon is not a natural thing to happen in the world. So, in fact, life did not give us lemons. Humans gave us lemons.
And sugar gave
And
us
I have
lemonade.
never
So
felt
yeah.
so betrayed.
Yes. We thought we knew something. Yeah. Sometimes you just have to, I guess, to quote a famous tagline, just do it. I mean, So my dad always said, you have to get to a point to where the only way you're going to know is to do it and to make the mistakes.
That's me with power tools. For some reason, something about
I'm a
power
little
tools.
scared. I'm a little scared.
I'm
where this
very
is
like
going.
ready, fire, aim when it
With
comes
a
to like
drill.
a power tool, a chainsaw. I'm just like,
The
let's
only way
just
I'm
go.
going to know is if I
Tyler,
fire it up.
as an
I'm terrified
engineer,
right now. I'm a little
No.
scared of this conversation.
And
One
I'm like,
time,
we just have to start. We just have to start.
Yeah.
I don't know why this is coming up, but I know that he listens, so I'll give a shout out. I was over at Sean Lynch's house, and this has been like 5 or more years ago. Who knows how actual long ago it was. And I was helping him to make something or trying to make something. We were cutting some wood, and his son Henry, who at the time was probably 8, I was like, do you all want to, like, is it okay? Does he want to try to like help? Like, I'll help him operate the little hand power circular saw, electric circular saw. He's like, yeah, that sounds good. And he was excited to do it. I got him, gave him all the rundown, put on the eyes, put on the ears, all the things. And he's like going along and cutting it, and we're doing great. And then his left hand, as if completely possessed by some external spirit, just starts like gravitating toward the blade. And I was like, I'm gonna grab your hand and we're just gonna put it down to your side and we're gonna finish the cut. But it was one of those situations of like seeing a child just like try to self-destruct.
What is happening?
Inexplicably.
Yeah.
It was very funny. Yeah,
luckily there was intervention
at all, but I remember I was like,
intervention.
We're just going to put that down by your side.
Yeah, we're just going to do this right here as your heart
Children
was
are drawn to the blade.
Yeah. Sometimes we don't get close to the cliff because we go where we see. They taught us that in motorcycle school. You go where you look. So I've always thought about that in life, is you steer where you look. That's a universal. You go where you look. So be careful where you look, folks. You might find what you're looking at. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. In that
so
case.
just to keep us recapped here. So for the actual vision board to absolutely force this metaphor down our throats, despite the fact that we don't have actual vision boards, we've got a mulch pile and a dude looking out on his garden. We've got like maybe like a picture. Is it like a picture of a room, or is it like a collection of swatches of a vibe?
It's more of a picture of a room, like a consistent
Gothic cottage.
Yeah.
And then your second one would be like the quote, that would be more of like
the second one's just like the quote.
And then Ray, yours is maybe like, what would that first, how would you represent that first one?
My first topic would
like
be
how is it appearing on your actual physical vision board?
Just people around with plants around, and, basically sitting at that table, being part of that space,
like a better homes and gardens spread kind of vibe.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe a cat on the table, a little cat in the corner with some terracotta, to floof it up a little bit. Yeah, all the things.
And so, what's going to be your second item that's on your vision board?
My second thing is actually not anything for home. It's just something I'm trying to do professionally there at the office. And some of us have talked about, the current state of like education and educational delivery and the nature of information availability now. It's sort of a commodity, whereas when I first got into extension, information was traded by people walking in, getting a physical publication. Now, it's very much accessible online, university information, information on the World Wide Web, good and bad. Information is readily available. So one of the things I am doubling down on this year is educational incentives. So on my vision board, there would be probably just a generic plant seed catalog. And what I'm doing this year, and it's already yielding results through, higher class sign-up.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's roll.
Reaping what you sow, you could say.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, you were on it, Brett. We are on the same wavelength. But what I want to do there is just give more incentives, more educational incentives. By that, I mean, if I talk about an asparagus variety that's an improved variety over the old standby Martha Washington, I am going to give like the first 20 people that register for that class a bunch of this improved variety. And that is a little extra boost to come and listen to me talk about growing whatever, blackberries, strawberries, raspberries. We have lots of classes coming up. And each one of those classes I have this spring, there are incentives for coming. And part of my reason for that is that I know people share things like asparagus. And if I can seed those improved varieties into a county, it kind of levels it up, because then you're making citizen teachers out of those people. My thought process being, they can get the information, but they come to me for what? They come to me to get the hands-on, to say, here's how we plant it. Not only that, but here's a little bit that you can take home, put in the ground, and if it does prove out to be in a variety in some way, then they may share that information with their neighbor, or even better, they may share some if they're able to of that cultivar, that variety, if it's appropriate. They can share
Mm.
that. And so I'm seeding that information, that testimony into communities. So it's almost like a citizens spread project.
Wow.
But I want to do
Deep.
more of that. And it's all based on my assumption or the current state that we're in, that information is a commodity. So
Mm.
what's your stick beyond that? What's
Mm.
your value add? And my value add in this case is the next level is, well, here's some to actually try. If you're on the fence, I'm going to knock you over to the other side of the bright side. I'm going to give you some of this improved variety. You're going to take it home. It's going to do awesome because you're going to do exactly the recipe that I give you, and it's going to do well. And then you're going to share that with your neighbors. So that's my current on the current vision board, is just to incentivize attendance and just, habits based on what I'm recommending. Whatever I'm recommending, I want to give a little incentive.
Yeah, but it also does, like, it's a relevant incentive
Yeah, it's
besides just
directly
like
tied
dinner,
in.
like
And I'm
this is
literally trying to seed like improved strains into the county, and that'll
it
how asparagus
feels
spreads.
so OG in a good way, OG extension.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was channeling. It's kind of taking our old model, but I
Yeah.
wanted to update it by acknowledging that one of our old standbys is the dissemination of information. Well, that has accomplished a lot now through lots of different methods, through digital methods, and coming to see us. So it's kind of leveling that up and taking a different, a kind of a little bit different approach to that. But yeah.
I love that. That is
Yeah,
just
that's on the vision board this year, and it does. We see attendance. If people are on the fence about coming to a program, we do see our attendance has. It's always better when we can give those little incentives. It's a minor incentive, but I think it has, brings people in, and that's what we're all about, is working with people and communities. And
well, it was that thing too, like we talked about a couple episodes ago with Jessica about how in order to have all the things that you would need to try out a dish garden,
yes,
you'd have to order probably 3 to 5 to more times as much as you actually need in order to get the supplies. And so this idea of you can get this little bit, you can come in and see the difference of in-person instruction for someone who's
yeah,
from someone who's been doing this for a while.
hmm
And you're getting a thing that you don't have to go and ask wherever you buy your stuff from. Do you have this, improved variety that UK recommends? Because you're getting it right away. I think the idea of like the educational information cannot be the only thing that we offer. Is
that's
a
my assumption.
message
One of my
that should be
assumptions.
spread as wide as we can, because we're in a information surplus right now.
You have to
Curation,
operationalize that.
demonstration, and connection, I think, to me, are like that's the sweet spot, and that's what we try to do here on
Yeah.
Hort Culture. Subscribe
Multi-level.
now if you haven't
Look
subscribed.
at that. Fancy that.
That's
We like
awesome.
it's the classic carrot, Brett. This is the carrot, just a little carrot. Yeah. And by the way, dish gardens, which is going to be irrelevant when you're listening to this, dish gardens are tomorrow at 4:00. So there's something about every day. So rock and roll.
So mine is my third one here is a horticultural oddity. So as many of you all know, I partake in the competitive sport of bonsai. Try to talk about it literally every time that I get the chance. But so the image is, and I sent it to my colleagues here, but imagine a little, like a pine tree that's planted in a pot. And around the base, it has a bunch of needles and small branches and other stuff. And then it has a crazy long single branch that like goes 3-4 feet in the air that has needles out at the tip. Okay. If you want to look it up, look up pine bonsai sacrifice branch. That's the Google thing that will help you arrive at this space.
It'll take you straight to the dark web.
And so the reality of growing bonsai is that if you're going to grow them from scratch or from seed or whatever, you basically have to grow way more material on the plant and then trim back to what you want. So you will, here's credited to all kinds of different people, but let's say it was, Michelangelo, who said that within a big hunk of marble, my goal is to see the sculpture within and then remove everything that isn't the sculpture.
Mm-hmm.
In bonsai and in a lot of different horticultural, topiary, whatever, you create your big hunk of marble by growing a bunch of biomass, and then you trim back to whatever is there for the sculpture. So this is a long way of saying that I have a bunch of little crazy Whoville pines in my backyard that will continue to become more and more Whoville-ish as their long, crazy antenna that will ultimately get cut off is growing. And so it's in this middle set of a few years of growing these trees, it's my reminder to myself to kind of stay the course with the process, trust the process, keep going, even though it looks super weird and unsatisfying compared to the trees that you could be growing. And don't bail on that process too early and end up with some trees that, that aren't. I would rather wait 3 or 4 more years and have trees that I'm happy with, or 10 more years and have trees that I'm really happy with, rather than bailing on these crazy oddities now. And so that's something that's in my vision board.
That would be so hard. I just
it's really bizarre. It's a strange counter because it doesn't look good now.
But makes perfect sense. I mean, to have that and its function and what you're going to do with it later. But I'm like Alexis. I'm like, it's like a hangnail or something just sticking out, like a, and
you just can't let it go.
Yeah. In case anybody is at all curious or has been thinking about doing bonsai or has come up, whatever, a very brief reason that you do this: you grow this crazy long branch that's really, really far out, and the tree thinks, oh man, I need to get resources up to that branch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create more tissue, which gives me a thicker trunk with more vascular tissue that's able to transport stuff up to that. The end result of that is that the trunk itself, down where we cut it off, is really, really big, which makes all the branches that are growing out of it gives the impression of it being an old tree, a really old ancient tree. But you can't, if you cut the branches off all the time, it will never get thick within my lifetime to do that. So that's why you do it, is you're just manipulating the vascular systems of the tree in order to make that happen. But nobody asked, but that's the story.
Hard won knowledge.
This is slightly off topic, but is related to plants and how my brain goes right into plant mode constantly. I was reading, women, tend to have bad osteoporosis and issues as they get older. And so, I'm reading what are ways as someone who's a little younger can, do what's your diet? Should I be walking? Should I be running? Should I be what type of exercise or whatever? Anyways, I am not a medical doctor. This is just what I read online. Okay, just preface that. This is what
you should not have done that surgery on me. Then, you
were certified.
But one of the things where I immediately went into plant mode, they were saying how, lifting weights, heavy weight of some kind, these different exercises where you're moving heavy weight or you're jumping a lot or doing something like that, it's actually really good for the bones, because when you do it early, your body says, there's a lot of pressure going into this. I need to put down more bone, right? And that's exactly what plants do. We tell people don't, when you plant a tree, don't, trellis it in, or what's the word?
Stake it
in with something too tightly. You want that trunk to be able to move, because as that wind moves it, the plant recognizes that it needs to lay down more wood and have a bigger trunk to be able to resist snapping in the wind. And it's I tell people, pet your plants, right? You're signaling the plant to lay down some more, cambium layers and stuff like that. It's same with humans. So I immediately was oh my God, I'm just like a tree. As I was thinking about it. Sorry, that's
thickening cell walls. Yeah.
So if you have an Alexis at home, do not try to stake it down.
No,
You're
it
just
is not
compounding your
healthy for it.
problems and
She
also
needs to be
osteoporosis.
out there squatting her own body weight and doing stuff like that. All right,
Jumping and running and being feral in general.
So is a big PR max on your vision board, or what's your next vision board item, Alexis?
I mean, one of my goals is to be able to squat my own weight and to deadlift my husband's weight in case I ever have to save him from a burning building or something. So I'm pretty close to that one. But the hard part is that my weight keeps going up. So
you just keep setting yourself new goals.
That's just
you just keep raising the bar for all of us, including yourself, in so many ways. Just look at it that way. You're just raising the bar.
It's not lemons; it is lemonade, Alexis.
It's the lemonade of it. I'm just getting stronger by being larger.
Yeah.
My pants don't fit because I'm too strong. Dang it.
That's right.
That's right. Thick bones, or whatever you said.
Yeah, having big bones is an actual thing. Come to find out, if you do a lot of
accounting for all these micro fissures and how they were making your bones larger and pushing everything, you weren't accounting for that.
No, that was not taken into the ratio.
Pants are it's like it's going to girdle your trunk. You need to.
Right.
Those
pants are like the straps; they're holding you down.
Can't wear hard pants anymore.
Confinement is bad. Let's all agree to agree.
I feel like my roots the burlap wasn't removed from my root system.
I don't know what this vision board is looking like. It's real weird in my mind right now.
Pants were not designed by a certified arborist.
There's hard pants in my mind right now.
There's just ball and burlap trees all over my vision board. And to remind me that I do not want my roots to be girdled.
And there's plants running around having strong bones. So there's that.
So did you in fact have another item for your vision board?
Well, I was going to say, I feel like I've been looking at a lot of tools lately, and tools for efficiency.
Not just on this podcast, am I right?
No, not just us. Don't laugh that hard.
Equipment for that was so good. I can't. Tools for efficiency, but also going along with, I am really excited to be doing planning another field day with Sarah with the Organic Association of Kentucky. So shout out Sarah. And we worked together to put together a field day last year on mechanical weed control, which was really awesome. And farmers were able to experience some of these things in real life. And it just reiterated in me how this idea of getting to use the tools, see the tools in action, and just the experience of it all can be really helpful when you're building a farm. And so I've just been looking at tools a lot because I'm like, ooh, it'd be really cool if I knew how that worked. Therefore, someone else probably wants to know how it works too. So we should have that on our field day.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
do those tools fit into any particular aspects of growing, or
it's going to be, I think, a little bit more of a broad field day instead of, just mechanical weed control. We're kind of looking at this idea of, seed to plant, seed to in the ground, or I forget exactly the lingo we're using, but, having a really good propagation system. There's different levels of, you can do this really inexpensive, or you can have this high tech stuff, but you're going to get great seeds or great cuttings or transplants out of it, to old tobacco water wheel setter, that can be retrofitted for veg. Or one of the things I'm excited about is the paper pot planter, if anybody's ever seen that before, and how, it's really great in theory, and you may see somebody use it, but their soil could be so different than yours. Or, maybe pulling something for 100 feet over and over and over again is not great for your body. So there's these other tools that could be used. And so my brain and my dog's brain is also very excited about tools.
He's hyped on you heard paper pot planter and was ready to fight.
Strengthening his bones, Alexis.
Somebody's got some clay out.
I'm gonna be herding that equipment around the farm. Maybe I can hook the corgis up to it to
100 feet.
Mush.
It's the tiniest, cutest little bobsled team you've ever seen. Little floofs.
Forget Balto. # old movies that are on my brain now.
Well, Ray, do you have a third item Or
Mine's quite literally a vision board for the office and one we've worked on many years, and it's just an architectural drawing. We've saved money
mm,
forever, and we've desperately needed the agents there in my county additional teaching space because we're on top of each other and we run out of room space, and we don't have enough teaching space. And it's not directly related to plants, but it is because I want more space to teach people about plants and to have a community around our programs to expand that community. So we've been working on this for the last 10, 12 years. And it was finally made real, I think, when we worked with an architect. And I literally pinned up a drawing on the refrigerator with magnets. And it's the expansion of the building, everything, all the planning we put into, the financial considerations, and consideration for the teaching space. But when you see that on just a basic drawing, I mean, then it became real. The question was not, are we going to do it? It's how are we going to do it?
mm,
And, to make it happen. So that was a real shift. Is just having a simple line drawing, if you can imagine
that's
an
amazing.
architectural drawing. But it's something we'd work towards, and it's just additional teaching space, something I'm very excited about. It's going to take a lot of work yet to do over the summer on our part, but I'm pretty excited. It involves some renovation and expansion, but it's just expanding, our ability to deliver bigger, nicer, cooler, and more of a quantity of programs in my local community. But it's a true vision board. We literally pinned it up for that reason. So to kind of make it real for leadership, and now when they walk by, it's in a meeting room. When they walk by, people ask about it, and it's a point of conversation. And that's a springboard where we can say, oh yeah, here's why we're doing it. Here's the process we went through, to settle on this and the design and all that to spark conversation. So it's been cool watching local leadership engage with that process and everything to get us to this point. And now we've got a ways to go, but yeah, it's real now. We have a drawing. I mean, we have a drawing. It must be real, right?
That's right.
Yeah, it's
The
concrete.
power of visualization. And I think
It is
sometimes
amazing.
people in leadership, sometimes they, especially if they're visually minded, but like that, does have a real rhetorical power almost in
Yeah,
conveying something or making it feel possible. Or
it
I
can
think that's
shift
why
the
people do
energy.
vision boards, is because
Yeah.
it's not just a silly thing. Like it's a
Hmm.
real, it can be silly and fun, and that's great. But there is something when you take it from
There
just
is.
a stray thought into something.
Mhm.
It's that just almost bringing it into existence. I mean, making it a little bit more concrete. So
Well,
I
so
think I
I
want to
have
put.
a. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say. I think it reminds you of. I think I want to put one of those things. I want to put it on like my cooler, and of if it's the amount of money that you make or amount of flowers you produce or what whatever the goal is, and you like get to color in a section,
Mm,
and as it goes up, and I'm like, ooh, that'd be a cool visualization to have. Just like every month you get to color, hopefully in a new section.
that would be a huge vibe. And if you have like a month that's challenging or whatever, you have like
Mhm.
the bigger,
Yeah.
fuller, that full section. You're like, oh yeah, okay, it
All
wasn't
right.
all this month.
I'm like, I'm inspired. I want that as a visualization. I'm gonna
I
print
miss
something
the
out.
old photo albums for that reason, Alexis. Jennifer and I talked about this the other day. For whatever got into our brains, we printed off, some actual physical photos, put them in an album. I'm like, holy cow, why did we stop doing this? You can not only is it forward thinking, it can also be an assessment of what you've accomplished or what you've done in the
Mm-hmm.
year before. And Reed was like, "Oh, what did we do last year?" And he looked at all these photos we'd printed off, and he's like, "Holy cow, we did a lot of stuff." I'm like, "Yeah, we did, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
We did a lot of stuff." But I like the forward thinking, but I also like the reflection that those vision boards can do. So pick your point in time. Just visualizing it for me is very important.
Yeah, well, I think that idea of curation that I mentioned before, where we have so much information, so many things
Yeah,
happen, so many memories, so many whatever, just in the
we
course of a
do.
year or a
Hmm.
month or whatever, that
It's easy to forget.
taking the time to reflect backward,
Well, just you, Brett.
thinking less about fewer things, but those things are important.
Like your
Is
backyard, you saw the before and the after, and that was powerful. You look
Yeah,
back, but it
I'm
also
very
helped you look
grateful
forward.
that through no planning at all, I have pictures of like every stage of development of it from
Yeah,
around the same
yeah,
vantage point, and it's pretty wild. But so
pretty
I
cool.
wanted to close with one more question. I know we're a little over typical time, but um, what would you add to the horticulture vision board for 2026? If you had to
Mm.
choose something that you wanted to kind of represent what we're doing. Are you calling for your answer to be Alexis?
Yeah. Pick me, my lord.
Pick me.
We're going to come back to Alexis. We're going to start with I'm just kidding.
And I'm going to take what she was going to say, and she will be stabby to me later.
Let's start with Alexis. Very enthusiastic. I'm getting the feel of what it must have been like to be one of your teachers or professors.
Pick me,
front seat, very aggressive young woman in the front seat.
Yes.
Alexis, yes.
I want us to have swag with all the funny things that we've said.
Oh,
Swag. The swag is on there. I think that is achievable.
What was it? We can slay this way.
We can slay this way.
We had some amazing ideas for taglines way back when.
I have them. I have at least 3 written down.
There's some good ones. There's some good ones in there. Love it. The analog. It's real.
Yeah. So maybe when we can have a listeners weigh in on, the top, however many we want to carry forth. Okay. I like that. So maybe it's like and when you say swag, are you imagining, this is, again, let's be specific and paint the picture for ourselves so we can imagine it. Are you imagining, is there a particular swag type that you think we should start with or embrace?
I want either stickers or shirts.
Stickers or shirts.
Would also settle for hats. Hats are a thing because I have so many shirts. I feel like people are they've got a lot of shirts, a lot of free shirts that, anyways, I would also do a hat.
What about temporary tattoos?
Ooh, yes.
Listen, Oak brought those to the field day and they were just like little temporary vegetable tattoos and people were pumped about them. Just like a little radish.
I am 100% not joking about this.
Okay.
I think we could do like our faces on stickers on exactly. Ray just did the face right there. He's doing the face. Boom, done. Cut out the background onto a sticker or like it could be the 4 of us. It could be maybe people have a favorite host that they really want to. They could put mine out to help keep away the livestock from the crops, or I don't know. That was kind of a boomer joke, but nevertheless, So I think we could do that, and it would be very fun. I think we could go the plant route and be a little more whatever, but.
What if it was our heads with a little bubble of a quote, like a little like
now we're thinking
fights, not epic fights, or deadheads, and it has like a little zinnia snipped on it or something. Yeah, it's a combo of
somebody looking truly cult leader-ish saying, "Welcome, my true leaves."
Maybe little plant tags. I use fun plant tags for my youth program.
Oh, the plant tag.
And I have little fun, fun sayings.
What a great idea.
You can get those printed, Brett.
I know a potter who makes little plant tags that like have funny sayings on them.
Oh my gosh.
Not dead yet. And they'll stick them in the pots.
That's one of the versions I have. It's wooden, but
I love this idea.
Yeah.
Or we could, some sort of like an accessory for like a house plant or something like that. All right, now we're cooking. So anyway, okay, so that's a really good vision board item. Alexis clearly got a lot of engagement.
Solid. She is not going to let that be forgotten.
She's the engagement queen,
Yeah.
I really want a shirt that says "Epiphights, not epic fights" because I think it's hilarious.
Got it, okay, we got it.
I want a little orchid on it, okay, or a hat.
She's really
pushing the epic conference that said "Soil Nerd" on them, and I wanted one, but I don't look good in those kinds of hats, so I didn't get it.
What kind of hat was it?
It was like
big trucker hat.
No, it was like a hiker's hat. Like there's that ball cap style that like people who hike wear, and it had like a real flat bill.
Yeah.
You could curve those.
It's not like a baseball player's flat bill. It's like a specific, scrunchy, outdoorsy person's flat bill.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I look dumb in that.
Duck bill.
It's because you have your hair is too voluminous.
I need a good old fashioned ball cap that I can just curl up.
I want a shirt that says we don't talk about Epiphyte Club.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I also like the
Swag.
Ray,
deck.
what are
Swag's
you
the
putting on the
thing.
vision board? What are you putting on the vision board, Ray?
No. We talked about earlier themes. I love the thought of themes on here. Let's do like special topical themes or whatever and dive down into those themes. And Brett's done some legwork on that. And we talked about some pretty exciting kind of series of things we could talk about. So I'd love to see that happen. And I know you've already started working on it. We talked about it today. So I look forward to that, doing some more of that in the future. And I love the thought of like a little bit more deep dive things. So that is mine.
Yeah. I think for me, I would say that I would put a picture of somebody or probably a picture or video of somebody doing some research, kind of learning about a thing to have a little bit more of a heads up. You know, we do some planning on these episodes, but we also sometimes get busy and have to. So I'm trying to prioritize. I want us to prioritize getting those things planned so that we can do a little bit more preparation, research, whatever. At least somebody can if they want to. Because I really enjoy learning, and a lot of this was about sharing the things that we've learned through various experiences and education and everything else across time. And so that's something I'm excited about, the prospect of being able to learn some stuff and along with that comes learning and hearing things from a lot of the cool guests that we'll be having
That's why I
this
love
year.
that. It's one of my favorite things is
Those
the
ones
guests.
we are already planning those. Like we have agreed people. So like
Yes, we've
come
got
back.
tentative contracts signed and agents, riders.
Yeah.
Ray's
My
been
people are
separating out
calling
the
in people.
NDAs, everything.
into So no, we've got some cool guests that we're either inviting or have invited already, and a couple different styles. But thank you all for indulging the vision board concept.
Fun.
I'm excited.
Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Well,
Garden
and if you're
vision
out
board.
there listening and you know what swag you want, write it in the comment as you give us 5 stars, and we'll try and prioritize. And if it happens to be epiphytes, not epic fights, I mean that's what it happens to be. Whatever. Can't help anything. But
Can't help an extremely influenced democratic process,
Alexis's plant tag will be 5 stars. It's going to be 5 stars. I know.
Yes,
It'll be
I
like,
just want 5 stars. It
yeah,
says
5
Hort
stars.
Culture on it.
Yeah, they'll know the guest. They'll know the one.
Spotify, 5 stars.
Yes, 5 stars.
Awesome. Thank you guys for being here. We hope you keep listening. We hope you enjoy it. Throw out ideas, or, if you would like to be a guest, let us know. What do you got? What do you want to be a guest about? That would be cool too. But we are excited about the upcoming season and all the great episodes and the guests that we have. So we'll talk to you next time. Have a great one. Go plant something cool. Have fun. Be a true leaf.